We are live.
Okay. I don't even know. Well, actually.
Well, we can let people come in the room.
Okay, we can let people. Oh wow, this was a good idea. I've never filmed over here. This is so pretty.
Yeah, it's a nice little.
It's like a talk show set.
Right.
Oh my god. I need one of these in my next house. I might take a picture of this and just green screen it.
Oh yeah.
That's true. I'll just take pictures of this place and green screen it. That way I can always be here.
Maybe you can. Oh, it's 4 people. 7.
Yep, more and more will come in. We'll give them all a little
time
a little time to come in. And the thing is, with Beverly Hills, let's start with, this is the 10th year. Kyle's.
Yeah.
Kyle!
Yeah.
Oh, there's an echo in here. Kyle!
Yeah.
Kyle's 10th year. We have seen her as a person of Caucasoid descent.
I mean, she's an OG and she lasted for 10 years.
And her face and neck are holding on for dear life with those old hands that she has. Now, you look at those hands and you're like, ooh, that's a 78-year-old white woman. If I'd have never seen it, hands look corpesque. Corpesque. I mean, she keeps them hands so neatly folded. And it's like, honey, don't fold them, because when you start to get stressed, that's when we see the wrinkles. Mm-mm. But she, just, the years of her face, because she went from, oh, that's people used to, like black people would always say, Kyle Richards is attractive for a white woman. That's what they would say.
For a white woman.
For a white woman.
I think she's like the least attractive on the cast, though. I mean,
Now.
next to Sutton.
Oh, Jesus. Wait,
Next
we'll get, hold on. Sutton is actually going to be appearing with us later on the show. We'll be getting back to you in a minute.
That's just how she's shaped. Okay, I guess we can start.
Yeah.
So this is the season 10, part 3 of 3 reunion, the last one. I don't really think it needed 3 parts.
The season didn't need 17 episodes.
I mean, it did cut down from 20. So they did cut a little bit.
They should have had Brandy on if they were going to give us a 3rd part.
The cease and desisting.
See, that's my issue.
Because she was a friend, so that's why, that was Denise's reason for not having her, because she's not really a part of the show technically,
I mean, I guess that's the way the contract is worded and read. I'll tell you this, Denise must have had some very specific language where she was able to pull that kind of stunt. But then again, when you've been married to Charlie Sheen, I'm sure, that's like trying to slick a can of oil.
So getting into the episode, it started out...
Well, can we get into how haggard Denise looked? I mean, what was up with that?
I mean, back from, I saw an earlier clip of what she used to look like when she was before the show. She was going to watch What Happens Live. She's been on there for 3 times, and she looks so youthful. It looked like someone literally snatched her youth from her.
I mean, she looked like she was rode hard and put up wet. It was rough and funky. I mean, that eye makeup, it just looked like you slept in it twice. Like you missed your flight twice in Vegas. Like you were out partying, you were here for a bachelorette, you get to the airport, you miss your flight, you're like, screw it, we're going back to the hotel, and you do it again, and you don't even take a bird bath, as what you call it, a bird bath. And she is a bird, a seagull.
A duck bath.
A duck bath,
Right.
Duck bath, okay, well, she is a seagull. Haggard, wet feathers, misshapen beak. I mean, just the whole way she was just sitting there, it's just even her hair was just limp and effortless.
It was disappointing all around.
She looked like Charlie Sheen's ex-wife.
He uses them up. Yeah, so the episode
Magic
continued.
Johnson. Magic Johnson doesn't look like that, so she has no excuse.
Well, black don't crack.
True.
So that the episode, it opened up with Teddy and unfortunately Teddy, but it was like they were asking Denise, so yeah, that wasn't the worst thing you said about Teddy. Of course Denise denied it. I'm like, what's the point in not, just saying it? It's Teddy. It's Teddy. Just say, yeah, girl, I called you. I'll see you next Tuesday.
I mean, exactly. It's like, it's not like we're speaking with someone of high value. You invented this career where you basically run around and annoy other women.
Yeah.
And that's why they brought her on the show. They said, oh, you've been doing this for a living for a minute.
How many times did Kyle say honest in this episode? I wrote this down because I was like, Kyle saying honest in this episode and Lisa Rinna saying own it. Like if you had a shot every time Kyle said honest, you would be on the floor.
Yeah, you would have
Honest,
alcohol.
anybody be honest. We can move past it for honest.
I think the thing is, I feel like they were all kind of talking over the camera with that. Like, they have some information that cannot be made public, but they know for a fact this is true. Like, there's too many people saying it, or somebody's got some photographic evidence. Maybe there was a ping or something. But they're definitely like, we know, and you know we know, and you gonna have to tell us because you're getting the same check that we're getting. It would be like you being on the show.
That's a good point. I didn't see it like that.
It would be like you being on the show but making no jokes. It's like, I'm sorry, we are here to be shady.
Right. I'm not here to be like, nice.
At all. Oh my
God. Well, I try to be nice and nasty.
There you go.
So Lisa Rinna. This is live. Sorry. So Lisa Rinna, she printed out text messages. Just like, here you go. I got the text messages right here. Garcelle's like, wow. Could you imagine going into the Kinko's, printing out text messages, pages?
Oh,
just for receipts.
You know she did that at home. But it's also like, this has been your friend of 20 years. You got her on the show. You told her what the deal was.
Right.
And she's going to lie to you on camera. You couldn't even be like, okay, it could have been the storyline where I help you deal with this.
Right.
Like, you could have done this another way. I know that this is, bull. And you're lying to me.
Yes.
And you're telling me
you're lying to a friend of 20 years.
And you're telling them that there are altered text messages and stuff out there. And it's like, okay, now this is getting, ridiculous.
Speaking of that, Denise says, oh, well, Rinna, you want me to bring out my text messages on you? What do you think Denise has on Rinna? What could anyone have? I mean, about her divorce, maybe. Her husband not loving her anymore.
Who wants to be loved by Harry Hamlin? And they're both so thin and scrawny. I imagine that I wouldn't even call what they would have sex. It would be like some type of copulation.
Right.
Like something, like a grasshopper and a cricket. That's what they get. Praying mantis tea.
Okay.
He probably got tired of her biting his head off. That's what happened. I think there could be. Okay. Birds of a feather flock together. And Denise was looking strung out. And Rinna has been rumored to pop pills and dabble in the dolls.
So you saw those bag of pills she has. She's known for a bag of pills.
Exactly. And it's like you haven't eaten since 86, maybe 84. So I think Denise could have, some extracurricular activity, or maybe, a little doctor shopping information. I could see definitely a doctor shopping tea. So she could have some stuff that could affect sponsorships and things like that. But then Denise would also have to put her dirt in the street.
Right. Then they get to, asking Denise, did you send a cease and desist to Brandy? And I think she's skirting around the issue. That's what she was doing. Garcelle's role throughout this entire, the first half was just being Denise's ally. I like, what can we get Garcelle to do during this reunion? She was hardly a part of it, wasn't she?
Well, that's what happens when you miss 2 trips in the first couple episodes.
Right.
You gotta be there for the whole season.
So then they move on to Erika's Broadway segment. Like, that was her storyline for the season.
I have to say, I really liked how they edited Erika. I like that. I mean, I have to say, like, Erika was crying every 15 minutes. And it's just like, okay, where did these emotions come from?
Because she's known for being cold and icy and frigid.
And people say that she's actually like that in real life. Like,
I can see it.
No one has anything nice to say about her. No one has anything nice to say about her. They say that she is a terror, tries to get people fired, like, very unpleasant. I was disappointed. I was truly disappointed.
Wow.
But, where was I going with this? But they edited her to show the softer side of Sears. And I will say, I was very disappointed in her fashion game. Like, it just wasn't as, It looked like her husband lost $15 million. It really did. It was just like, ooh, someone's on a budget.
Right, so there's actually a fashion segment later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. So then they get to Garcelle calling out Renna about, like, remember she was at the table and she was like, well, yeah, every time Erika brings up Chicago, Renna has to bring it up or whatever. And I just thought that was kind of something weird for Garcelle to really, point out,
I agree with her pointing it out because it was getting irritating. Like, girl, okay, you did it then, she's doing it now.
Okay.
Like, every time, it's like, okay, if I was hanging out with Whoopi Goldberg and I had just won my first Oscar, and every time somebody congratulated me, she said, I won back in 90.
Okay, all right, I see. But Lisa Rinna with the counter was like, oh, well, you're saying I don't really support her, but like, where were you when we went to New York on the private plane,
And but then her tired excuse, it was just like, girl, you started to sound like Denise Richards with all the excuses.
Yes.
Back in my modeling days, I had a lot of scary moments on small planes, and it's like, you had a few minutes to go and you could have flown commercial.
So Teddy was the one to call it out. So Garcelle and Denise, like, why weren't you there since, you guys don't support women? Like, because Teddy's just so annoying. And then, Garcelle's like, you want to take this or me? So then Denise goes first and she's just saying, oh, well, I wasn't invited until the night before. But then Andy interjected and said, well, this is around the time you were trying to sue us. So yeah, she was like sent the cease and desist or whatever, so she wasn't going.
I was gonna say, I would not waste a good breath on an invitation to Denise Richards when she ain't showing up.
Right. So then Garcelle, her reason was, first it was, I'm afraid of small planes. So the wives just all started laughing, you remember that? And these are like definitely rich women because Erika pointed out the plane type, and then, who else? Sutton was like, there was a double bed on this. I was like, okay, you can't tell these women these excuses because they're always on private planes. So then, and then someone pointed out, well, why don't you just go commercial then? So the excuses was running out. So then she was like, oh, well, it was working kids.
And I was like, now, child, you could have done them kids first and just called it a day.
Or just say you didn't want to go.
Exactly.
I had to work. Like, that's been working all season.
Yeah, although we're going to need to see these projects you've been working on, because I'm sorry, it did not take you all season to film your cameo in Coming to America 2. I need to see what all these work projects are, because you busy. Are you flying around doing background work? Why are we not hearing about all these upcoming projects? I better hear about your Netflix series real soon, sis.
So next segment is Denise's husband. And it's crazy because there's like 5 other husbands on this show. Kyle's, Lisa's, Erika. But we're only focusing on Aaron this season.
Because Aaron was in the mess. I mean, I could see him trying to diffuse stuff because, your instinct is to protect your wife. It was out of line. How he spoke to the women was out of line. But he was in it. Like, we didn't talk about any of the other husbands because, like, with PK and Erika, the husbands know, stay out of it. You ain't never You ain't never seen Mauricio in nothing. Erika's husband is a ghost. Like, they weekend at Bernie's his ass. It's like, that's why he only films twice a season. That's when they could get him animated.
Yes. But what I got from that segment, like, he really didn't even show up. He was just like, well, no one else's husband is showing up, which is fair. Like, no one else is showing up. Why he got to be the only one? So then they got to the hand crushing comment. And Denise was like, oh, well, I'm just hearing it. I just saw it. And then he doesn't even remember. And he said he can, he's scared of me. Girl. Okay. Yeah, but moving on. Then they get to the fashions of the season, like we were talking about earlier. And I really think, like, Dorit was the fashionista of the season. I heard the way she's getting her money is something with their house. They just put their house on sale.
How can they put it?
Right, for $6 million more than it's worth. I got the tea from a source.
But how can you sell a rental?
It's some type of thing where it was there's a bunch of people on the deed or whatever. It's some type of housing thing. Like, I'm gonna play you the it's so intrinsic.
What kind of Ponzi scheme?
Right. Like, they're going buying houses, like some type of scheme where, like, they buy a house, they list it, and then they list it for even more than it's worth. And then making a profit off of that.
For more than the house, but who's buying the house for more than what it's worth? Because you're washing money somehow if you're doing that.
It's illegal somehow, but I don't really have the facts on it yet, but I'm gonna play it for you.
Okay.
Anywho, yeah, I don't think Erika came correct as she could have. Who do you think was the best dressed on the reunion? I thought it was either between Garcelle and Dorit. Because the intricacy of that, that hair she had.
Now, to me, that looked like a bowel movement. It gave me a dookie tea.
Okay.
I was like, no. I would say the reunion.
I love that dress she had with the Grecian.
I would say, it's really tough because I have to say Renner.
She was top 3. Like
that, I just loved, like, that dynasty dress that she had with the flared shoulder and that
like her hair.
waist down. That waist was down. She knew how to pick a dress that looked great sitting down.
See, here's the thing.
I've wanted to see stuff like that for so long. It's like, this is the high end that I need. But you're right, that wig was atrocious.
Right, she should have had that Heidi wig, the one with the bangs, and it was like straight.
I think she should have gone full Alexis Carrington and done Messy Updo.
But then that's why I put Garcelle and Dorit ahead of her, because the looks up here was flawless, especially for Garcelle, like the accessories.
And the warm colors.
Yeah.
And then the jewelry, like,
you
it was
heard
definitely.
Asa provided her jewelry?
Who?
Asa from Shines of Sunset.
Oh, Asa.
The one who married the Jackson.
Oh,
well, who had a kid for the Jackson. I'm not sure if they got
I only saw this last season.
All right. So then they move on to, I guess, the last segment, which is Lisa versus Denise, and this 20-year friendship, and they both asked, Andy asked them both, how did the friendship change? How did Lisa change? And then we have Denise saying, before I comment on that, I need to eat something. Let me go right quick. And she had all her notes and her scripts from Bold and the Beautiful. I'm just like, okay. Yeah, she said she needed to eat something before she answered the question. And then she mentioned, I have to go to work tomorrow. I have 48 pages of dialogue to look at. And he's like, we're almost over. You're at work now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when, back in high school, like, if I'm in like a math class, but I'm studying for history the entire time.
Yeah.
That's kind of like just how I did it. But, what else? I guess they were saying, Lisa said, why are you on the show then? If you don't want to, like, say, like, anything or where, like, what am I trying to say?
Renna is
Denise copping to shit, basically.
Rinna is angry that, one, I guess she didn't know first.
Mm-hmm.
Two, that Denise is on the show but making more money than her. And now Denise has like had all these demands. She had that great edit. Rinna's, really been put through the mill. And she's like, you're not gonna have another season with a good edit. You're not.
And they show Denise walking off like all the edits like at least 5 times that season. She didn't want to talk about anything. So like, what's the point of being on the show if you don't want to face shit?
And
Lisa Rinna admits that she doesn't like Brandy, still to this day. But then I would ask, well, if you don't like this person, why would you believe her over your friend of 20 years? Like, I just didn't get that.
Because there's that information that, like, there's that missing piece, that behind the camera, that there's a reason that Rinna believes because Rinna knows it's the truth.
And then Lisa brought Denise on the show, and this is just like where their friendship ends. So,
Yep. And now Denise is off the show.
Yes. And then I guess they have some final words from the cast, which didn't really stand out to me at all.
Ooh, I want to say, when Denise told Teddy, you are the daughter of a famous father, you should have known not to bring it up because it would end up on camera.
Yeah.
That was just like, you are the daughter of a famous father. That was, you see, that shade.
That was some good shade.
That was some good shade. So it's just like, basically, it's like, I'm not saying you're in his shadow, but you are the daughter of a famous father.
Let me see. So yeah, basically all what I got from those final words was Kyle. When she was just like, when Andy asked, so how does the group move forward now, Kyle? And try to guess what she said.
Honesty.
Exactly. I was just, oh God.
If we can
Andy was just like
honest, open communication. If everyone can just be
honest. And then they do a cheers, and then we have Dorit with a a Gucci glass with Gucci ice cubes. I need to find out how much that is. A Gucci glass.
That would be.
A glass set. That's probably like what, $800?
Yeah.
Probably $450.
No.
For 6 glasses? For 6 Gucci glasses.
You're probably going to only get it with an entire flatware set.
I'm gonna look that up later.
Flatware, flatware, it's like probably $1,600 to $2,500 a set. So I don't know. Let's Gucci glass. Let's just look it up. Gucci.
We have like 5 minutes, so we're good.
Okay.
Hi everyone. I can see the comments.
Let's see, Gucci glass. Gucci glass cup. $550.
Well, we put rock glasses.
Oh, rock glasses. Rock glasses. Rock glasses. Harlem butterfly mug, $290. So yeah, that was probably like a $200 or $300 comment.
So yeah, that's where the episode ended. But I just wanted to know your thoughts as the season as a whole.
I wanted to see more money. I thought that their trip to Italy was boring.
Okay. That's fair.
I thought Santa Barbara was boring. I thought Teddy was boring. They go to New York enough where they need to have a better rental there.
Right.
No private planes this season whatsoever.
We had one.
What, we did have one?
Yeah, when they all went to see Erika Jane.
Did we see that
at the
on
very
show?
end? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was like the very last scene.
I miss when Vanderpump and Maloof were on, and we were always
talk about
in a
real
private
money.
plane.
I wouldn't even mind Adrian coming back.
Yeah, ooh, God,
Because she got a new man.
She also has a new face.
She does have a new face.
Oh, I don't know why.
A lioness.
She looks like Pete. I can't look at her without getting misty.
And of course, Denise isn't coming back, which I don't really care.
Oh, no.
I think it was time for her to go.
It was time for her to go. Denise and her poverty can get the heck out.
I was really disappointed how she looked at that reunion.
A lot.
Like you just said in the beginning, like, yeah, we could have dedicated the whole show to how bad she looked, honestly.
I mean, Kyle was right about one thing. Ragamuffin.
Ragamuffin.
She is
like, for some reason, like, when I hear ragamuffin, like, I remember this book I read, like, in middle school or something, for my book report. And they were calling this to, like, a little black girl. That's why it just kind of hit different to me when I heard ragamuffin. Because I wasn't sure that it was like a classist, like, connotation to it. Because imagine if Kyle called Garcelle a ragamuffin.
See, now that's why they was afraid to talk to her.
And
that's the thing. It's like okay, we're not sure. Like that's one of those.
Exactly. Right.
But if it was child, Black Twitter would have been like it was the whole history of the word would have been looked up. It's like now hold on, get the Oxford Dictionary.
You saw what they did with Aunt Jemima's syrup.
Yep.
Like they will go back. Anywho, that's a good segue because I was asking. My last final note is, should Garcelle stay? I think she needs another black cast member. Because I feel like Denise was her only ally. The only other person is Sutton. And then the other 5 women, they're kind of like these like clique-type mean girls almost. Like, I can't see her getting along with Teddy or Kyle without it being fake. Erika and Renna, like, they're more close to like Kyle and Teddy. So it'll be easy for her to be iced out almost. So she needs like another ally outside of Sutton.
I could see Erika and
shit.
You know.
Sorry, y'all.
I could see. I don't know, Daniel. I could see Garcelle and Erika forming a friendship, and I do agree with you. I think that they should have. She could bring on another fabulous black actress,
right?
Or producer or writer. You know, Amara Brock Akil, like somebody from behind the scenes, maybe. But
I have to Google that.
Well, she wrote Girlfriends.
Oh, okay. That theme song is stuck in my head. Like I'll just be like doing anything. Girlfriends, mom. Yeah. Shout out to Angie Stone. I think that was Angie Stone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, that's how boring the season was. We're talking about a better show, Girlfriends.
That's been off for 20 years.
20 years. Shit. I think that's all we can say on this season. Good luck to season 11, which probably won't be until like what? March 2021?
Oh, God.
I can't even see it, you know.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I guess they're figuring it out. They're filming Housewives.
Yeah. We have Atlanta to look forward to, and they're almost wrapped with Jersey.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was the episode. Thank you for being on my channel.
No problem.
Yeah, so I will see y'all soon for my Potomac review, and I'm sure you got like 6, 7 reviews coming up.
I do.
Okay, he needs to start on it now. Actually.
I'm gonna do Antebellum. We're gonna see.
See, I want to keep my relationship with Janelle in case she ever, we ever come back in contact with each other. Because I hear the movie is trash, y'all. I'm just saying. But anywho, I will see y'all later. All right. Bye.